Hi guys, Erik Ten Hag, Manchester United. Just assessing his season really. I think the remit when he came in was to make sure Manchester United qualified for the Champions League after missing out the previous year. Didn't want that Europa League anymore. Seeing an improvement in the style of football that they play, some sort of identity, an improvement of individual players within that squad. A better idea of how recruitment was going, a better plan of action with recruitment, and I think all of those things have been sorted out. I think that not sorted out, but I think they've all improved dramatically. First of all, getting into the Champions League was something that was definitely needed to be improved upon, needed to be executed. Whatever way that came, he's done that. He's managed to get us into the Champions League in third position at the moment. Probably should finish there now. But to finish in the Champions League when the club was in such disarray when he came, and to do it amongst all of the stress and the carnage and the soap operas that were going on behind the scenes. You've got the Cristiano Ronaldo situation that he had to deal with and make a big stand publicly with. Whichever way you think it was dealt with, in the end, it's worked out for the best for him and for what he wanted to achieve this season. He's still managed to qualify for the Champions League. The captain, Harry Maguire, not being a regular starter in the team, being a backup centre-back, third or fourth choice. The negativity that could come alongside that if it doesn't work out, huge decision to make as well. Rashford making a big play on when he was late for a meeting leading up to a game, put him on the bench. Big news story, could have blown up in his face. Rashford then goes on to score in that game and acknowledges the mistake that he made, and all things are well behind the scenes. They're just three of many other situations that have arisen during this season that he's managed to deal with. Those are three big ones, and if any of those three situations had happened at other clubs, for other managers, they would have been huge things to deal with, but he managed to just get along with it. And I just think that he done it in his own way, his own style, but got big rewards out the back end of them. So whether anyone likes it or they didn't like it or not happy with certain decisions that he's made them to be looking like right decisions right now, because the team has got to where he needed the team to get to, which was Champions League football this year. Yes, they won a trophy as well, the Carabao Cup, and people could say, it's a trophy. It creates an understanding of how to win a trophy. No matter how big or small you deem that trophy, you've still got to navigate your way through the knockout phases to get to the day at Wembley and win it. And it doesn't matter who you've played, what team you've put out, you've still got to go and win it. And they've done that. And that leads me to the point about, have Man United had a better season? We were joking with this on Bible 5. We were talking about it. Have Man United have a better season than Arsenal? If you're just laying it down and saying, if you're a player, do you want to finish fourth and win a trophy? Whatever trophy that is. Do you want to finish fourth and win a trophy? Or third and win a trophy and qualify for the Champions League? Or second, no trophy, but be involved in the title race? Bruv, I'm only taking the trophy and whatever position I finish to finish Champions League, that's it. That's a more successful season. Now you could look at it. Arsenal and Arteta have made huge strides. So you have to tip your hat to them and say, well done. They've done remarkably well to close the gap on Man City the way they did. So we're just in here, and that's a different conversation. We can go back to that next time. So, do you know what I mean? Just want to stay focused on my own team. As Joel and Robbie always keep saying, but no, I think what he's done there, Erik Ten Hag, I think there's room for improvement massively. He would say that. I think that consistency is a key element they need to bring to the table next season, and I think recruitment is going to be massive. I think that's going to be a huge topic this summer. That's not even talking about the ownership, which needs to be sorted out. Glazers, please get that sorted out, man. Please, but we need it now. As the season's coming to a close, please get that element sorted out, because the club needs it, the players need it, the management need it, the fans need it. just some clarity, man. Just to get this thing sold. Get it sold and let the club start moving on now. Because the more time we spend doing this, the club's in limbo. Recruitment season's here, the transfer window's open. Where can we go? Can we buy players? Can we even go into the market when we haven't got a real understanding of where the club's going to be from an ownership point of view? It just really makes it a huge mess. And they've had long enough to sell this football club now. Please, let's get this done. Don't make this a circus that it already seems to be coming into at this moment. But the recruitment's going to be massive. And number 9 is the obvious area that Man United need to sort out. We need to get a number 9 in the building. And there's 2 names that keep coming up, and that's Osimhen from Napoli and Harry Kane. I think ultimately it's down to Harry Kane and Daniel Levy. If they both say yes, we want to make it happen, I think Man United get it done. I just think the numbers it can't be ridiculous. Levy's got to be realistic. And they've got blood, sweat and tears, everything they can get, records and goals out of Harry Kane. Let the guy do what he needs to do now, man. Let him go on and try and compete for Champions League, for championships, for cup competitions. He might not, if he came to Man United, he might even be competing for a title. It might take another year or 2. But they're closer than where Spurs are, that's the point. But Osimhen's a different kettle of fish. He's 24, I think he is. Scored goals in France and now in Italy. Won the league. Knows how to win leagues. Been the number 9 at the dominant team in the football league. Is that transferable to the Premier League? Well, no one knows that. That's the chance Man United, if they're willing to take that with him. And that's the only risk I see. He doesn't know the league. That's it. I think ability-wise, profile, goal scoring, he ticks every box. It's just there's an unknown factor in terms of, does he know how to play the Premier League? Can he adapt to the Premier League? But I wouldn't see that as a big risk. I'd take either of those 2 and I'd be happy. But Kane, just what I'm one thing with Kane, he guarantees you 20-25 goals a season. There's no doubt in your mind he gets that when he comes to Man United. So Erik ten Hag, man, you have to say hats off. He's done remarkably well this season. I've loved talking about him, loved seeing the way that he's handled the players, handled the squad. You might not agree with everything and the way he does everything, but I think he's a very honest guy and he's got a clear idea of what he wants to do. He's clear plan. The players respect him. I think he's building something now that we can have there's a bit of respect building within outside of the football club, the people looking on now when he's here and since he's been at the helm. I don't think there's a huge uplift in terms of on the pitch. I think there's still a long way to go there. But I think that you can see that the pieces are being put in place in terms of the discipline, the work ethic, the responding to results and performances. I think there have been a lot of positives in this season. I think he has to take huge credit, him and his staff and his team behind the scenes at Manchester United and the players as well. It's going to be interesting, this recruitment, who's going and who's coming. So roll on next season.